What's up, everybody? It is Matt from Lectric All Wheel. Today we finally have the Lectric XP4.0. This is the 500-watt version. We will be installing a dual battery setup. We are going to install a Lectric factory battery from the Trike, Expedition, etc. right here on the body of the bike, utilizing these bottle cage mounts. Should be a fairly quick install. You are not isolated to the battery that we choose or this placement. We're just going to show this to get a video out there because we have had a ton of people asking. For the 500-watt rear hub, you will use the 20 amp kit. There's no need for anything more. For the 750-watt rear hub, use the 40 amp universal kit. You can get any 48-volt battery you want. Make sure that you have the XT60 plugins for your battery. When you go that route, we have the recommended battery list in the description below. Also, if you guys are going to be riding out the range for dual battery like this, I implore you, check out the bike case suspension seat post coupled with a Cloud9 suspension seat. It is the best combination you could get at. I promise you, you'll thank me later. We will leave links for all of the products, including the e-bike and the Lectric battery that we're going to use, in the description below. And we appreciate you utilizing those links to help keep this channel going. Stick around to the end of the video and we will provide some range calculations utilizing the Mica toll constant. If you haven't already, give us a like and subscribe on YouTube. It is our primary, and if you're in the area, check out E-Bikes of Tampa Bay, Florida. Get in that Facebook group, make an event, and go for a ride with your friends. Let's get to it. All right, we are inside, and as you can see, there is plenty of room here in the controller box. That is good news. And right away, I have a connection to deal with, and I can also honestly also see a nice big gap right here. I don't even think I need to pull out the controller. Oh my goodness. Let's go ahead and do it anyway so people can see. There it is. For the 500-watt rear hub, we will be utilizing the 20 amp universal kit. And I'm just going to go ahead and take out my extensions here. Perfect. I need one extension to get out of the controller housing. And I know that my battery input is going to need to match. So I'm going to put this female or male connector with the female XT60. So the male connector in up through the housing. This thing has a ton of room. This is great. Okay, there we go. So here's my cable out. I'm going to go ahead and grab my balancer. There we go. And then plug that cable in so it doesn't get lost. I'm going to take and unplug. I'm going to take and unplug the plate. And I'm going to go ahead and plug in what works. There's no real way to mess this up. The outputs and everything work. And then I'm just going to plug this in. And then I'm just going to tuck in the... This is so easy. Oh my goodness, this is great. And then boom, we're done. All right, from here, we're going to go ahead and take out these 3 screws for the bottle cage mount. And they look like panheads, so they may work. Like this edition, I feel like they did this for us, and I'm honestly grateful. Just such a nice addition. Okay, now we're going to take this thing, and we are going to So what I want is this one for support closer up. So we're going to run this down to about right here, I believe. So it'll be here, here, here. And then that looks like it will fit down in there nicely, and then we'll be able to scoot it up a little bit. So good. So let me see if these will actually work. I'm going to use this one. This will stay empty. And then I'm going to run this thing down to the limit. That's very nice. So you can use these screws. I think the spacer is adding a little bit. It just barely creates an obstruction right here. That's what we're looking to eliminate, and it's just so ever so slight. And honestly, I think it's something that's tolerable and can be dealt with if you're out of screws and don't have anything to replace this. But we do, so we're going to use them. And these are M5 screws. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and put this on. I think we're going to run out to the extent of the top, so we'll get it pushed further up. So don't tighten them all the way down until you get them both in there. Perfect. That is very nice. Feels very stable. Now this mount comes from the Electric All-Wheel store. We will leave a link for this in the description below. And then this is an actual electric battery, and we will link this as well. You'll get this from the Lectric website. So we put this on. So there's a little tab up here up front that you need to make sure goes into the battery, and you will hear the very distinct clicking sound. So it's right up here on the head. If you don't hear it, it hasn't happened yet. And this is a spring load scenario. So when it's locked, it's locked. So when you're in a locked state and you put it on, you should hear the clicking. And there it is, right? And so I know that's coming off or not coming off. This isn't coming off or going anywhere. It's on there quite nice. And then you have your keys. You know this is locked, and it has the brand name on it. That looks great. So we pulled out our cable from underneath, and now we need to get it back into this so we can bring it back around. And then honestly, there's going to be so much cable left over. I'm trying probably push it up inside and then tie it off. So here's the reality. I just go ahead and plug that in. Let's come up here and see if we have power. This will be combined batteries. All right, and we know it's on. I'll give it PAS 1 throttle. Perfect. All right, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to open it. Now let's see if throttle still works. All right, it's open. So we know that that's the second battery. There we go. Now it's still on. And then there we are. So that's the main battery. That means we have a good connection. Make sure that this thing clicks into place and that it is truly locked, meaning it cannot move out that way. Perfect. That looks amazing. Okay, what I'm actually going to do is put this cable on the other side, and what that will allow is if I run it here, the bike opens that way, so it will be on the hinge side. So you could actually just leave this on and open the bike if you need to. Now I'm also going to take some of this slack and try and push it inside the bike, and then zip tie to one of these cables here to make it a nice clean look. Now keep that tight. And that's the gear shift cable for the derailleur. And I just did that so it'll hold it in and everything's nice and tight. Now I do have and use often these Tidy Helper cable clips, and these things work well to hold the cables. Get them from Amazon, and they come with a sticky backing, and then it would just slip on like so, and then you just stick it down and hold down your cabling, and it helps with the cable management. I'm not going to do this on this one because this bike is going to go through a lot of variations, but keep that in mind. We'll leave links for these. I use them in a lot of the videos. I thought I might need this strap setup for this bike, but this is on there very well. I feel very good with this. Also, this looks really clean, really nice. So I think we're going to leave that like that. Pretty excited about this scenario. Integrated second battery. We are cooking with this amp hour collection. Well, there you have it. We have successfully installed a second Lectric battery. Now, this battery was not intended for this bike, but it is from the Lectric brand, so you can trust it. This is the 14 amp hour battery. They do make a 17.5 amp hour battery that looks like this that will fit right here, so keep that in mind. Also, very important to note, we used a 20 amp balancer inside the controller housing, but that was as it relates to the controller for the 500 watt. If you have a 750 watt rear hub motor, you're going to want to get our 40 amp universal kit. We will leave a link for that in the description as well, on top of the hardware used for this install, which we are very pleased with. I know a lot of you stuck around for the range calculation, so let's just get to it. So the original battery is 10 amp hours or 10.4. We'll use 10. And then this battery is 14, so we're adding 14 amp hours, and you get a total of 24 amp hours. Going to multiply that by 48, and you get 1,152 watt hours. We're going to divide that by the Mica toll constant. And the Mica toll constant says it's 25 watt hours per mile ridden at 20 miles an hour throttle only. And you get 46 miles at 20 miles an hour throttle only on your Lectric XP4.0. This only goes up from here if you get the long range battery, or if you add a larger capacity battery. You are not restricted to the Lectric brand. You can get any down tube 48 volt battery you want that fits in the same style and fits in between your stem and the fold in the body of the bike. So keep that in mind. Make sure also that you have an XT60 so you can plug in to the cable select set for the 20 amp universal discharge balancer kit, or the 40 amp if you have the 750 watt rear hub. Very, very clean look. We are very, very happy with this. There are other options with the rear rack stuff. This top mount rack looks like it comes off, and we have seen a lot of tiered batteries. I'm excited to see if we can find anything that fits. It's narrow, so keep that in mind if you're thinking the same thing, but we will explore with this. We do have the 750 watt version coming, and it will be a step through, and then we will also be reviewing this bike as well, so be on the lookout for that. But we've had a lot of questions and wanted to get this out for the Lectric faithful, all those who just move through the Lectric product line. We're right there with you. We will leave links for all of the products, including the bikes and the batteries from Lectric, in the description below, and we appreciate you utilizing those links to help keep this channel going. Thank you very much for that. And if you decide to dual battery your bike, I implore you, check out the Bike Case suspension seat post coupled with a Cloud9 suspension seat. It is a game changer through and through. You can thank me later. If you haven't already, give us a like and subscribe on YouTube. It is our primary, and if you're in the area, check out e-bikes of Tampa Bay, Florida. Get in that Facebook group, make an event, go for a ride with your friends. Awesome.